what time it is. Marvin Devine, Huber, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Big game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Fuck it, what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, Axel, and Huber, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah.
This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney one. My girl, and say, this is.
What? She's not parking over there. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Don't park in the handicap parking thing. Did you not see my thing? It's right in my window here and in my dashboard. I got a disability. Excuse me. Please don't park there. I'm asking you nicely, please. I don't want to call anybody, dial anybody. Look, I don't even know who to call or dial. But this stuff is legitimate. Come on, I didn't get the license plates yet. Come on, what are you doing? Move it, please. Move it. Move it. You know what? I'm going to have to call that woman. I done took my mask off, too. I had this mask on. I had this mask, too, on as well. Oh, no. You know what? I'm going to call that girl. Lisa, because this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. Hello, happy new year, happy new you, happy new month. Oh man, hi guys, happy Sunday. I'm so glad to see you guys. And I'm so glad you have made it and tuned in to Lisa Baxter Show. I got a wonderful, wonderful show for you. Before I start the show, I just would like to say a few things to you. All right. One of these things, this is a great booklet. You see this booklet right here? It's a PKD Patient's Handbook. This is a good handbook to have when you have polycystic kidney disease. You know, they got so many good ones out there. So, you know, good books out there, but it's good to get your book and learn a little bit more about your illness, maybe more than you knew before. Here's another book that I want you to get from the Social Security place. I got two books together I want you to get. One of them is what you need to know when you are retiring, and know what survivors benefits. So this is a good book. Ask the Social Security office for this book. And this one talks about what do you need to know when you want to get Social Security disability. So you'll know how much money, you'll know your rights as well. I told you, this is your girl giving you resources as well. And these books are good. They come in handy. Pass it to your family. Keep them. You don't even have to ask them for the books because they're stacked up where you can see them. They have a wide range of different things that you might ask them. So this is what they're doing. Okay? Voila, voila, voila. Now, let's get into the show. Yes, yes, yes. How about that? I got an excellent heart warrior. That's right. I got a heart transplant warrior who needs a kidney that's going to be on my show. And this woman is an educator. She's a woman of faith. She has a very big heart and a very kind spirit. Her name is Thelma Warner, and I would like to welcome this educator warrior to the Lisa Baxter Show. Come on, Thelma!
Hello,
Thelma.
Happy New Year, greetings, and all of that.
Happy New Year, new life, new you, and boy,
Happy
new
you.
great, wonderful blessings and challenges, right?
Yes, yes. Looking forward to this new year.
Yes, it's coming in really good. God is doing some turnarounds already. I know I can vouch for it.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. So some good things coming on. Good things, right?
Yes. Looking forward to this year.
Me too. Me too. I can't wait. I'm all revved up and all started up. Well, anyway, I wanted to welcome you to the show. Thank you for your courage. And I guess we'll get it moving and driving, starting with tell us something, tell us about your job, your employment, or what you used to do.
Okay, I was a business education teacher for many years in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And I moved here after I lost several relatives, and I moved to Atlanta. And actually, I come here on a vacation for spring break, and I ended up staying here because I broke my foot while I was here. As soon as I got out of the car, I stepped in a crack in the street, and it broke my foot. So then I had been here for a while. And the next thing you know, I went to a concert with my girlfriends. I went to see a friend of ours sing. They rolled me in the wheelchair. I had a cast on my foot and everything. And I had gone to the bathroom, and I was trying to use the bathroom. My friend was helping me. And when I went to wash my hands, the sink fell out, and it was ceramic. It cut my legs and arms all up. I hurt my back, and I ended up being on disability. And I never went back to work. So I ended up moving here after a few months of recovery. And that's when my journey began with everything, my heart issues, then my kidney issues, and my brain issues and more.
Wow. Well, I tell you, boy, they're not going to be able to believe your story. They're not going to be able to really believe your story because you don't look like what you've been through. I mean, you got a ray of blessings going on.
You know, people look at me and they say, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, this is one of the
people look at me and they say, congestive heart failure. And, it's hard to tell because unless you see the person walking and trying to catch the air. But on the outside, we look fine. And I had congestive heart failure, which runs in my family. It was hereditary on both sides. So I had a double whammy. But anyway, so after I had been here and had recovered from my falls and accidents, I couldn't sleep one night. And so I decided to go to the doctor the next day. A girlfriend was with me, and the doctor said, we need to do EKG. They did EKG. And then she told me, she says, Miss Warner, you need to go to the hospital. I said, today? She says, right now. Well, it turned out I had a blood clot on the left lower ventricle of my heart muscle. So I ended up going into the hospital, and that was Adventist. I think it's defunct now. Emory Adventist on Cobb Parkway, South Cobb Drive. And I stayed there for about 2 weeks. And so after I was released, of course, I was in denial. I really felt fine, so I thought it was fine. And then I guess a few months later, I started getting sick. And then I started getting sicker. And then it took me about 2 years, and I kept going in and out of the hospitals. And finally, the last time I was going to the hospital, the ambulance driver said, where do you want to go, to Piedmont downtown or Piedmont Fed? I said, send me downtown. I've been everywhere. Send me downtown. They sent me downtown. I met a wonderful doctor there, Dr. Tara Rabrowski. She's no longer there, but she was my heart doctor at the time. And I looked at her, I said, Dr. Rabrowski, I can't go any longer. Can you help me? And she looked at me and she says, we're going to help you. And from that day on, started my journey. And I went into the hospital in May 16th, 2017. And I received my heart July 19th, 2017. At the time that I received my heart, I had a lot of complications, and I was told that I was going to eventually have to have a valve replacement because I had a leaky valve with my new heart. So I had my surgery. I finally I recovered from that after a few months. I went to rehab and all of that. Then the next thing you know, I had to go and have my tricuspid valve replaced in 2019. June. So I had my tricuspid valve replaced, but at the time, I went home and I got sick again. I couldn't breathe. I went back to the hospital. They had to do lung surgery. During my lung surgery, I almost passed. I asked the doctor, I asked the nurse, I said, did I die? She says, no, Ms. Warner, you didn't die, but you were so close to death. We didn't know which way it was going to go. And I said, I know, because I saw the light, and I did see the light. And I had, it was so many scenarios. I really should probably write a book about it. That's what people tell me. But I remember seeing the light. I could tell you everything that went on. And that's why when I awakened, and I during that whole series of me being under, I had a choice to make. And I didn't know which choice to make. And I kept making the wrong choice. And finally, I made the right choice. And that choice was to live forever, which when I chose that side, everything I had been going through stopped, and immediately I was back in the room and I was awake. So I made it through that. Then 3 months later, in October of 2019, I had a rear end car accident. Somebody rammed into the back of me on my way to dialysis, and I had to go to the hospital. I went to Grady, and then upon release from Grady, about a few days later, I'm not sure the time element there, I wasn't feeling good, and I was feeling very nauseated and everything. So I decided to go to Piedmont to just check out things, make sure my heart was still okay and everything. And when I went there, they admitted me to the hospital. I stayed about another week and a half, 2 weeks there. And then I was released. Well, I went to Alabama to visit a friend. And I was on dialysis there. While there, my head would hurt so bad. Oh, it was hurting so bad. Through every treatment. So immediately upon returning to Atlanta, I went to the hospital. And the doctor looked at me and he said, Miss Warner, we're going to have to do surgery and we're going to have to do it today. And I looked at him. I said, okay. I just know if the doctor said I had to have surgery, I knew that that's what I was going to do. And I had brain surgery. Well, that was in December of 2019. And look at me now.
Now stop. Hallelujah. Now we're gonna hallelujah. I ain't mad at you. Come on.
Now the surgery that I had for my heart gave me an acute kidney injury. I had an acute kidney injury during my surgery, and that's why I'm on dialysis.
Wow.
And I have
been because I was going to go back and ask you, how did you get on dialysis? Because you said you had the accident on the way. And then you said you moved from one place to another. Where did you live before you relocated?
I lived in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. That's my native home.
Woo. Wow.
So I'm a country girl.
Nice. A country girl. And where you relocated to, country girl?
I relocated to Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, you were happy. You're happy there, so that's a good thing. So you went from somebody that had a heart issue and got a heart transplant. You didn't only have a heart issue, you had a lung surgery.
Yes.
You had something with your brain. You had something with the kidney.
Yes.
Wow. You had a lot of something, and now we're waiting for a transplant for the kidney itself.
Yes.
Wow. Well, how was your journey on dialysis? Tell me about your day or your journey on dialysis, ma'am.
Well, I'm gonna be completely honest. I hate dialysis. I really do. I never could imagine being stuck in the arm with 2 needles. And I told my doctor, my nephrologist said, oh no, not me. I can't do that. Well, if you think about living, you've got to do these things. And I want to live, so I bear the burden of it. I just have to go through it. There are good days and bad days. Most of the time, I'm very weak afterwards, and I have to rest for the rest of the evening and the rest of the night. But the next day, joy cometh in the morning. I'm usually pretty good then. So I look for my days off, and especially my weekends, because I go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 3 hours, 45 minutes, which equals up to about 4.5 once, you have to hold your spot and all that. And, make sure your blood pressure, my blood pressure drops so much every time I go. I used to have a high blood pressure problem, but I lost all of that when I lost the weight. So, and I lost the weight through my surgeries.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yes.
Well, all of those different surgeries and things you go through can cause weight loss, can cause depression. It can cause some of any and everything. And then if you're moving around and doing so much, it's so, you can, drop a pound or, a few ounces or something here and there. You know what I mean? My father had heart trouble.
Since COVID, I think I've gained a few pounds.
Hey, we've all gained and lost. I don't know. A lot going on here too. Oh yes, a lot going on here too. So I do get that and understand that. My father, he had heart trouble as well. He won with the polycystic kidney disease. How I got on. Wow. You know what I mean? I know I had that in common. And my father was a Southerner. He was from Bennettsville. Bennettsville. So, and my mother's side was West Indian. But I said that to say that sometimes some of those hereditary illnesses, you really got to know about those in the family, knowing the family history and stuff. And you seem to have known you had it on both sides. I'm not mad at you. That's good that you knew. Some people don't know where they got it from. They're scratching their head. But you educated woman like you knew about that, huh? Wow,
Yes,
wow.
my father
So,
is a native of Atlanta, and his people had heart problems. Although my father passed with cancer, so cancer runs in my family too. And my mother's side of family, her father passed with congestive heart failure and heart attacks.
mm. Well, my
So,
mother's side is diabetic. My father's side basically had high blood pressure. He was the, and his great aunt was on dialysis. So I had,
mhm,
6 siblings, once an uncle and a mother-in-law dealing with dialysis. So you have to jump into this kind of stuff, especially when it deals with you and your family. Well,
right.
you
Diabetes
taking.
runs in my family as well, but kidney problems had never run in my family. I'm the first that I know of.
I was the first one to get a transplant in mine. Now you have a heart transplant.
Yes.
What does some of the medication and dealing with dialysis together makes you extra weak or anything of that nature?
Well, the medications that I take, I can't really tell the difference right now. I've been on them so long that
Mm.
they don't seem to affect me. But when I started having dialysis, now I notice a lot of changes, as far as,
Sure.
like I said, the weaknesses. And when I come out of dialysis, I can't stand up. I have to ride around on my scooter to cook my breakfast and everything. And I thank God I have a scooter. Medicare gave me a scooter when I first went on Medicare because I couldn't walk and I couldn't breathe without.
Wow.
I couldn't. In other words, I couldn't walk far without having to take extra breaths and everything.
Yeah. Well, I got a walker and I got a cane. I didn't always have those things, and I
I
wasn't
have
always
those
going
too.
easy.
I have
I
those
do what
too.
I got to do to live. Apparently, you're doing the same thing to live. Now,
Yeah.
with the brain surgery, how long was you in recovery with brain surgery, and how long was you with the heart transplant
Well,
surgery?
the
I mean,
brain surgery
recovery.
was about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. But the heart surgery, like I said, I received my heart July 19, 2017, and I got out of rehab in September 12th, I think it was. No, I went in September. I think I got out in October. And so I went home, and then basically I was by myself trying to rehabilitate myself. And I think that kind of helped me. I had to do everything myself. Some people would check in on me every once in a while and bring me meals sometimes, other than that, I would order meals or, I winged it, I winged it. But I did have home health checking in on me every few days, so that was a help. But I really needed somebody there to help me as far as cleaning up and preparing meals. I had one girlfriend, her name was Francine, and she prepared a lot of meals for me, and I had ordered these prepackaged plates where she could package them and freeze them and then bring them to me, and she did, and that was a great help. All my home girls, the Rock City 8, were very supportive of me and my friends here in Atlanta. And my girlfriend, my best friend in life, Shirley Sanford, Shirley Hayes now. She's from Alabama. She lives in Alabama, but she came up for every surgery I had. She was there. And my cousin Marquita, my cousin Gino, and my cousin Dee Dee, and all my cousins in Maryland. Everybody was praying for me. And everybody was supportive in that way. So I did have support. It's just that when I got home, it was kind of hard, I can't hear you.
So that was hard for me. But I had ended up getting a home attendant, and I said I would never get one, but they wasn't gonna let me go home without it, and it ended up being a blessing because I couldn't go out, I couldn't lift certain things, and stuff had to be done. So
Right.
you have this surgery, and you're gonna definitely need a home attendant. I mean, you having this surgery for your transplant for the kidney. we praying and believing. And you are on the list, right?
Yes, I am. I'm on the list at Piedmont Hospital and MUSC in Charleston, South Carolina. And January 18th through the 23rd, I'll be evaluated at Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow. Put all of that out there. That's right.
Yeah.
Put it on out there. You never know who's listening. You don't know who might want to be a good Samaritan. That's not an easy surgery to do or get, but it's doable and people are doing it. And they're not always a deceased donor. That somebody has passed away, but they're living donors too. So
and I need a living donor. I need a living donor. Basically because I am a transplant already. A recipient there already. And my doctors have asked me to find a live donor.
Wow. So because your first donor, was that a live donor? No, it couldn't have been. It's a heart. God help me.
I don't know anything about my donor except for it was a young person. I don't know if it was male, female. I don't know anything. I've written a letter and I don't know if the letter ever got to the person. I've written it twice. If they received it or not, I'm not sure, but I did want them to know how grateful their gift of life was to me and is to me today. And their son's heart is beating nice and firm right now, and I don't want to lose that heart. That's why I need a live donor ASAP.
Wow. Now that's excellent to know, because you know people are generous sometimes with deceased donors because you can save so many lives with one person, up to 8. I believe it's up to 8 lives, and that's what they told us in the classroom. But since you can't have that type, then maybe somebody will come forward, somebody.
But
no, I said maybe somebody that's alive could come forward.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
but it would be more successful, they thought, if I had a live donor. And so
they're not rejecting the other one. They prefer, you're saying?
They're not rejecting me getting a deceased donor. However, they prefer that I have a live donor for it to be more successful, is what their thinking is.
Okay. The success rate is higher.
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Well, if there's anybody out there that you could encourage or talk to, maybe like you waiting for a kidney or any other type of transplant, because there are other transplants out there too, what would you say to encourage them?
Well, you have to keep, this is a fight. It's a battle. And everybody has battles, has something they are facing, okay? So you have to look at it positively, and you have to just keep on fighting. Don't give up. You are your own best advocate. You have to fight for yourself so that others will fight for you too. My main thing is to remain positive. And you never know where your blessing may come from. And I'm praying that a blessing comes to me and comes to my fellow comrades that need kidneys. We're all in need of kidneys. And if you are healthy and you can donate, don't mind donating, please give us a chance, another chance at life. We're fighting hard to stay here.
Some people put it out there, so they can, I don't know if they talk to you or talk to the hospital, because they called me when my transplant, I was at work at the time. So I don't know in this case, how does that happen? But, through Facebook or, your account or something like that, or from the pitch today, you never know. This pitch here today, some flyer you hung up or posted or gave out in your community, but we're praying that you would get something. Is there anybody you would give a shout out to, or is there anything you want to say that we missed? Because the show was 30 minutes. I try not to go over. I'm behaving myself. Lisa.
Well, I like to make a shout out to my doctors at Piedmont Hospital. They have been wonderful. My transplant doctor, Dean, He's a wonderful doctor. I'm alive today because of him and the help of all the wonderful first responders and nurses and doctors at Piedmont. And I am very, very grateful to them. I'd like to shout out to all of my Facebook friends and family and anybody that's watching this show. Just share, and share. And God bless you all. I love you.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, my heart praying sister. I ain't mad at you. Thank you for putting it out there. Thank you for coming on the show. You know, you family now. Your family now. What you gonna do?
I believe it. I love you guys. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Mr. Myers. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Lisa, Latasha, and everybody, and Hillary. Hillary Hart. Bella, yes. Thank you, all of the people that have advocated for me. I can't remember all the names right now, but I have met so many wonderful people through you and Jeff and everybody.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Jeffrey. Yeah. Well, thank you for thinking of us and being sweet and loving us back. And we praying and we believe in God. So call me because I know somebody's gonna call you with that kidney. You got one more thing to say?
Sandria is the one that turned me on to everybody. So I got to shout her out.
Who is it?
Sandria.
Oh,
she's
beautiful.
With my support group, and I have to shout her out. Tony Larkins.
Shout her out. Shout her out.
And all of my kidney support group. So thank you, everybody.
Excellent. You rock.
I miss, please don't feel offended.
Fantabulous, outstanding. Well, I would say good night to you. Get some rest. God is in the blessing business, so look out for every one of your blessings. You know what I mean? Name them one by one. Thank you and great night, and appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Good night.
Well, guys, you have heard it. You have heard it. What a fabulous guest. A guest with such a powerful testimony. That's what this is all about. You get to learn from every last one of us, and you don't hardly really hear the same story more than one time. How about that? I want to tell you my guest for next week, and I want to leave you also with a scripture. Roberta Reed, a mother, a parent that's an advocate for her son. She's an executive accountant, and she's just an all-around beautiful person. I met her years ago at AAKP in 2015, and that's when we had met, and I was getting the award and representing New York that year. So I thank God that she's going to come on the show and share her journey and every powerful thing that she is doing. This is the scripture that I have for you. I don't have my reading glasses on. Let's hope we can read this. May he give you the desires of your heart and make all your plans succeed. Psalm 20:4. All right. I ain't mad at you. V for victory. Much love and peace. See you next week. Lisa Baxter.
Y'all ready for this? Yeah.
My girl, and say, This is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 and the kidney one. My girl, and say, this